Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we will be doing our NXT No Mercy predictions video. Pretty solid card. Obviously, it'll be this Saturday. Pretty excited. There's a few matches that I think have match of the year contendants. Obviously, we'll get into that. But yeah, what's your kind of excitement levels for going into this card?
Yeah, they have 4 matches that I'm really high on. The other 3, they could go either way, basically.
Alrighty, but getting straight into it, starting on the pre-show, we have Blair Davenport taking on Kalani Jordan. Now, one thing I didn't know about Kalani Jordan, she's somebody who's still relatively new in NXT. This is only her 26th match, and she only started this year, I think around March. So, and she's going to get somebody against Blair Davenport, who's been in the business for about 10-ish years now. So, 2 very different people. But who do I think is going to get the win here? I think it will be Blair Davenport. I think she's somebody who has potential to be in that NXT Women's Championship picture. I think she kind of deserves. She hasn't really had much since coming from NXT UK to regular NXT, so I think she'll probably get a win here and probably move on to bigger things, I would assume.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with everything you said. Not too much to add besides that.
Moving on, we have the NXT Heritage Cup on the line where we have Noam Dar taking on Butch. Obviously, they had their own little G1 climax going on here. This would be in a British round rules match. It's kind of like they have rounds, and it's a little complicated, but who do you think takes this one?
I mean, I really have no idea because of the stipulation. That makes it even harder. Obviously, I'm going to go Noam Dar, I guess. But yeah, I'm just going out on a limb here.
Yeah, I think Noam Dar does win this simply because I do not see Butch staying in NXT very long, and I don't see him carrying around the trophy on SmackDowns with Brawling Brutes and stuff like that. So I kind of just assume Noam Dar wins this and kind of holds on to it unless Butch wins it here and then drops to somebody else later on the line. But yeah, I think Noam Dar definitely takes the win here. And then moving on to our third match, we have Braun Breaker take on Baron Corbin. And who do you have for this one?
This one I think could be, this is one of the 4 I mentioned that is taking a lot of my attention. And I think this could go either way for sure. But I think the best decision is to let Braun Breaker win and then hopefully move on to the main roster from there.
Yeah, I think which is true that he can either win this and move on to the main roster, or he loses and goes to the main roster. Obviously, Baron Corbin is somebody who they kind of brought back down because they weren't going to use him on the main roster, and he's actually been doing pretty good work on there. I think he's been solid. There's nothing to really complain about, I would say. But I think it's about time Braun Breaker does come up to the main roster. So I'm going to go Braun Breaker as well. In hopes of this kind of being his last kind of run and last big match on a pay-per-view for NXT, so I can very much see him coming up to the main roster after this. Then moving on, we have the NXT North American Championship on the line where we have Dominic Mysterio take on Trick Williams with Dragon Lee as the special guest referee. And who do you have for this one?
As much as me wants to say Trick is going to win, part of me is still saying that Dom is gonna find a way. It's Dirty Dom. He's gonna find some kind of way. I have a feeling like maybe Rhea shows up, maybe Finn Balor or somebody comes in to help him. I don't know who. But yeah, I just have a feeling he's gonna win, so I'm gonna go Dirty Dom.
Yeah, they've been telling a great story with Trick Williams trying to build his own legacy now. Obviously, for a long time, he was kind of just Carmelo Hayes' like hype-up man, and now they're finally using him as a single star, which they kind of should have been. And obviously, this past week on NXT, you kind of seen like the crack between them two. So I kind of want Trick Williams to win because I think it would be great for him to have a big moment beating somebody like Dominic Mysterio, who has, even though he's still so young, he has credibility to his name already, where if you beat me, you're like, okay, that's actually a good little accolade on your resume. And I think this would be good for Trick. However, I do not think he's going to be the one to defeat Dom for this belt. I do think it would still be Dragon Lee somewhere down the line. And Dragon Lee being the special guest referee also makes me think that there could be some kind of trickery that makes Trick win. However, I just think Dragon Lee is the one to defeat him. defeat Dom for this NXT North American Championship. But yeah, this match can go very well. I think Trick's been doing great work in the ring, and Dominic's improving pretty much every match. So this could definitely be a very great match on the night.
Yeah, potentially like Dragon Lee tries to like throw the match like to make Trick win, but then it not goes in his favor. Dom wins. Just something like that. I feel like is gonna happen.
Yeah, most likely. And then moving on, we have the NXT Tag Team Champions on the line in a Fatal 4 where we have the family, Tony Angelo and Channing, or Stacks, going against OTM, the Creed Brothers, and Humberto and Angel Garza. Who do you have for this one?
I'm going to go with the Creed Brothers for this one.
Nice. I kind of want to go with the family, just because they are still relative. They only have belts for like a few months, maybe. And I think the Creed Brothers are two people that could be coming to the main roster. They are phenomenal. They're one of the best tag teams in arguably all of WWE right now, considering they're like one of the only like big tag teams left, especially NXT. I think they're ready to go to the main roster. I think somebody like Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza could make a move for him. But I still think them kind of reuniting together and kind of going back in this tag team division isn't their time, at least. And OTM is still pretty fresh and new on the scene in NXT, so I don't really see them getting the win. So it's really going down to the family and the Creed Brothers, and I'm personally going to go to the family just because I think they're going to hold the belts for a little while longer.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then moving on to the Women's NXT Championship, we have Becky Lynch take on Tiffany Stratton in an Extreme Rules match. And what do you have for this match?
Now, this one I think has potential to be match at night, and probably will be match of the night, in my opinion, at least. Because I think Becky Lynch is going to go to put on a show. She recently had a thing where she was kind of sort of complaining about like women's airtime on TV recently. And yeah, she was basically just saying that you have to work for it, and she's gonna be the one to put the work in, whether she has to go down to NXT to do it or not. And this is gonna be one of her big showings, I think, and she's gonna try to put on a big show for her and Tiffany. I think this will be huge for Tiffany as well. A lot of people are complaining about Becky winning it off of her, but I think it builds her as well because she's putting up a fight versus the man. This is the WWE Women's Champion, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Tiffany Stratton winning. But I think it's gonna be like a very hard fought match, and it's gonna be great.
I'm gonna go with Becky Lynch for this one. Obviously, she just won it last week, so I think they're gonna do something similar to Dom, where they're probably gonna hold it for a month, 2, 3, 4, maybe, and then eventually kind of lose it. Bring a little more prestige to that belt, even though it's not really necessary at this time. And also, we kind of there's hints of Tegan Nox going for the championship, and she's going to go down for our story right now, and she's already kind of in line for the next title shot, so obviously doesn't mean necessarily that Becky Lynch will win, but it was kind of already said that was going to be Becky versus Tegan Nox. But yeah, this match can definitely be match of the night. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Like you said, Extreme Rules match allows for a lot of creativity in the matches. And Becky is somebody who has been doing it for a while now, and she probably has a lot of ideas that she wants to do. And Tiffany Stratton is somebody who is such an amazing athlete, where she's so young and does so many great moves, especially her moonsault. But yeah, I think Becky pulled off the win here, but this is probably going to be one of your matches of the night, and it could be the match of the night. But moving on to the main event, which we presume is going to be the main event for the NXT Championship, where we have Carmelo Hayes taking on Ilya Dragunov. And who do you have for this one?
I mean, obviously it could go either way. They're both amazing. I'm gonna go with Carmelo Hayes though. I think he's also, along with Braun Breaker and a lot of other people, they're just ready to go to the main roster. I think Carmelo Hayes is also maybe not 100% ready, but if not, he's like right there. You know what I mean? But I could definitely see him losing the belt to get to the main roster, and that's his like entrance to whatever brand he would go to between Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, this one I'm very torn between because you have Ilya Dragunov, who's been in NXT for quite a while now. He was at NXT UK, came over when the brands kind of combined. He's had multiple shots for this title. He obviously went against Carmelo at Great American Bash, which he did lose. However, the main thing was like there's an asterisk because Trick Williams got involved and that kind of cost Ilya the match. So I'm really torn between because Carmelo has been a phenomenal champion. He's been having phenomenal matches with pretty much everybody he faces at this time. But Ilya Dragunov seems to be the guy who puts the end to a lot of people's streak. He was the guy to beat Gunther. Could be the guy to beat Carmelo. But for who I think will win this match, I do think Carmelo Hayes does win this. Because I think Ilya could come up to the main roster. I feel like we say this a lot of times when we talk about like NXT and stuff like that, because it's like these people who are more than ready for the main roster. We're kind of like, oh, if they lose this, they're gonna go, or they win this, they're gonna go up. But like, I feel like Ilya kind of he's done everything he pretty much can. He's feuded with all the top guys really, and I think especially now Gunther has beaten his Intercontinental, the longest reigning Intercontinental champion. I think that is somebody who's a potential contender to win the belt, or win the Intercontinental, and that'll make a great impact, kind of starting up, making in front of new people and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Carmelo Hayes. So, yeah, I think this is probably, in my opinion, the match I'm looking most forward to. I think these two can put on phenomenal matches no matter what. They're two of the best in the world right now. I think Ilya is somebody who's going to be a little slept on recently, and he's somebody who is probably going to try to go for something crazy in this match. They're probably going to go for a good amount of time, which is always great for these two type of styles of wrestling where they connect so well. But yeah, I'm going to go Carmelo Hayes for this match. But yeah, that was our NXT No Mercy predictions. Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Let us know your predictions down in the comments. And yeah, see you guys in the next video.